How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I like to buy expensive cars for not a lot of money. Now, usually the cars I buy need a ton of work to make right, and the dirty little secret about those cars is, at the end, they're not actually that cheap. But when I was presented with a legitimate supercar for $250, I had to get it because, after all, how bad could it possibly be? It's bad. Okay. Why do I keep on buying fire damaged cars? Holy crap. So if you guys are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it and consider subscribing if these are the kinds of cars and projects you like to see. Now, this is my kind of project because it is fire damaged and it is cool. It's really fire damaged though. I didn't think it was this bad. So this is a Noble. This is a Noble M12 GTO 3R. It has the engine in the middle, has a V6 twin turbos, 6-speed manual transmission, and it looks awesome if it weren't for a massive, massive fire. You guys can't smell this? This smells terrible. But let me explain to you why this car is so special. Number one, it is a hand-built British supercar, and it is a legitimate British supercar. This has 400 horsepower, at least it did before this all happened. The fire wasn't the car's fault. It was actually in a house garage fire, and this was an unfortunate casualty. But take a look at it. I mean, other than it being extremely charred, it don't look that bad. It's really not that bad. And that's why I wanted to take this thing on as a project, because for $250, I mean, you can sell a wheel for $250. And for that, I got a wheel plus a whole car. Most of a car. This is... But there is a phrase that bears repeating, and that is, there are no free lunches. And one of the reasons why this car was so cheap is this. So the fire, even though it reached nearly every part of the car, it reached that part especially. So there's no car there per se, and it melted the engine, it melted the frame, it melted the tire, probably everything in this vicinity. And this is the business end of the car, so it needs a lot of work. Now, I don't know if this project is savable, but I do have a person that can help me determine whether this is a project that I can do or not. Honestly, I'm not sure if I need that person right now because I'm looking at this and this doesn't look savable at all. But let's see what he says. And I'm talking, of course, about Jack. So, dude, how excited are you about my new supercar? I mean, ooh, that looks great. That looks fantastic.
It's nice. It's not bad, actually.
Yeah. So
I'm lying to you.
Yes, you are.
How much did you pay for this?
$250.
All right, that's not bad. Hey,
like honestly, you know, I feel like I got my money's worth.
You got a deal. You got a deal. Look, it came with some free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got some new.
Is that
some new equipment here?
Is that a bike?
Yeah. Hold on. Can I take this out?
You could take it out. Are you sure you want to touch that? Is that bike made of carbon fiber?
I mean, we could make it out of carbon fiber now. We just have to make a new bike. It's gonna come out. I want.
Dude, please watch the paint. Oh,
it's good still.
Oh, so that's a smell. That's a ooh boy. Wonderful, dude. Free bike. It just needs a handlebar and some wheels and some paint.
Got Shimano brakes here. That's
good. They don't just put those on any bike.
That's high dollar.
It really is. I mean, this bike is up. Is that your new daily?
I've been meaning to get something I could save on gas, but...
Well, there you go. I think we should see what is in this car, what's back there, what's up here. But I think that we need to not touch any of this with bare hands because fiberglass gets itchy and oh, you're already dirty, aren't you? Hello, we are the car boys. We're here to fix your car. We are wearing every imaginable article of PPE because that looks like it has a bunch of cancer in and around it. And I don't feel like getting cancer. Do you, Jack?
No, I'm good. I'm
okay,
good.
actually, I got hold on.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. Okay, just gotta cover that up. So we're gonna start taking this car apart and see how bad it is. Because as bad as it looks right now, it's probably worse. Also, I can't see anything because this is fogging up like crazy. I have not thought this through. All right, let's take this clamshell off. And it is a clamshell. They have the front end and the back end just one solid piece. So, I got it. That and there we go. Ooh.
Yeah, fancy.
Actually, it's not that bad.
No, this looks all usable, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
That might not be. So we just need 3/4 of a car then.
Yeah, so if we just forget that that part of the car exists, we're golden, dude. I mean, 250 bucks. Yeah, there we go. Woo! All right, quarter done. Now we go to, okay, that's worse.
You're missing something right here, and I'm pretty sure in the pictures that this was on the car.
Yeah, it did have a door skin on it, so this flew off at some point between Utah and here. So this is somewhere in the country, and if you have it, please let me know. Actually, if you have it, just throw it out. Oh, okay, I got it, yep.
Watch the boys.
Yep, there we go. So we have a full interior here, and what are you doing?
I'm just testing the rigidity of the door.
It's very rigid. It's made of fiberglass, and it's definitely,
It's solid.
In here is an interior. There's some seats, there's a dash, there's a shifter, and all of this is completely unusable. Actually, what's this? You got gauges here?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I got gauges, we got whatever this is. I think what we should do in this are you doing the thing that everybody in a car show does?
It's coming. Yep. Oh. It was missing at Copart.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they don't put those on there from the factory.
That's like a acrylic. It got like a little design in there or something.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
We should try to polish that.
So let's take apart the rear clamshell. I got my side. There we go.
That's just the Bluetooth side.
Yeah, that's a definitely. So this is a 3-liter Ford Duratec engine. I believe this is the engine that they put in the Ford Mondeo in the UK and in Europe. And they added 2 turbochargers to it, and this makes about 380 to 400 horsepower. The turbochargers are on either end, and it's really kind of interesting. It has a intercooler back here that gets fed from the scoop back here, and it's simple. It has a 6-speed manual transmission, the same one actually that they had in the Ford Mondeo, but now it has a different clutch and it's in a more racing application. So these are actually very, very sought after. These are great engines, they're great power plants, and they do well on the track. But this one has seen better days. Can you plastic weld this, Jack?
You could plastic weld anything.
Can you do it to that?
No.
Have you ever seen wire like this? Look how hot it got.
That's crazy.
That's insane, man. This engine, if I take everything off of here, we may be able to turn it over. All the accessories are busted. You can see the AC compressor right there. It actually came apart, and we'd have to take this engine out. Maybe the gearbox is okay. I don't know.
It kind of looks like the heat was on top on this side. It didn't really go too low. I think the gearbox is probably fine because and you got rubber here, and that didn't melt. So
yeah, so the
kind of the plastic caught on fire.
So the fire wasn't super duper hot over here because you still see, I mean, everything here is fine. Whenever you have a fire, it's not just that things look untouched; it's that the metal is actually fatigued. Fire does weird things to metal. I mean, you can talk about that on the body shop side, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like that's kind of we talked about that a little bit with the Ferrari, with the 355. What ends up happening is it it's actually making the metal harder. So it gets harder, but what it does in turn is it makes it brittle. So it becomes very easy to break. We could probably take a hammer and punch a hole in some of that flat metal. I mean, or make a big dent with very little pressure. So
Yeah.
it's done for. That is done for. All the white.
Why is it white? Is that like the primer or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're the body guy.
I sling mud. I like the forbidden mustard.
This is definitely compromised. Even though this is an aluminum wheel looks okay, but I bet you if you put this under a microscope, you're going to see little micro cracks. And this becomes a lot more brittle. And if you hit a bump or something, it'll just come apart.
It's like when you watch the stuff where they make the swords or the blades and they dip it in oil and it like quenches the flame on it or the
When you watch
metal.
the stuff where they make the swords. Jack, are you all right? You need some oxygen?
I can barely breathe in this.
Actually, before we begin, I should say that this build series, and this will be a build series, I'm not just throwing this car away. This entire build series is sponsored by Valvoline. They are an amazing partner that I've been working with for a while, and I can't wait to show you everything that they have that we're gonna be putting on this car, because this is gonna be, well, it's gonna need everything. So Valvoline has our backs. Definitely go show them some love in the link in the video description below. We're gonna have a full showcase of their products, but right now, let's get this thing apart. I have AC in the shop. It's still very, very hot in the suit. Oh boy, this is looking, well, it looks the same, honestly, but we found out a lot about this car, some good and some Very, very, very bad. Now, let's start with the good. Jack?
The good. There was good. A lot of this stuff is good. We definitely could use these things if we need them.
So we have the radiator, we have the HVAC box, we have all the stuff up here, we have the suspension, the cooling ducts. All this stuff is untouched, and we found out that all the metal underneath the car, it does have a flat floor, all that metal is also fairly untouched. So we lucked out there, but everything past that point is questionable at best. Now you have a roll cage that's integrated with the structure here. It's all welded, which is cool. And another thing that's really cool is, you see this, it's fuzzy. So this is actually Alcantara, and they wrapped the entire thing all the way down to the frame here. And well, it doesn't fare well in fire, but I don't think anything else does either. This is probably okay, like from here, but everything past that, not so good. So do you think this frame is savable?
No. Some of it.
Some of it. Yeah, okay. Like this is really, really not good. Now, one of the things I was concerned about, and the reason why we took off the body, is I wanted to make sure that we knew what was going on underneath here. So this is welded onto this. This is the frame of the main structure of the car, and this is the roll cage. Now, the roll cage protects you in case of a rollover. If you roll over, all the weight goes right here. If all the weight goes right here, and this is all rusted and fire damaged, this is going to become brittle, and this is just going to snap. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen 100%, but looking at the fact that this is all discolored and rusty, it's really rusty down there, I don't think anything good is going to happen if we crash this car. I'm not planning on crashing the car. I don't trust that. Do you trust it?
I'm not gonna put my life in this car. Yeah. No. I mean, you see right here, that's got like some discoloration. It is rusted, and it did have water get sprayed on it. But a lot of the time, when you get that discoloration, it's the heat damage, and you can't really tell how weak the metal is. But that's a good sign right there that everything back here got really hot. If you look on the inside, actually, you see where the aluminum starting to melt and come apart, and then on that side there was aluminum, but it is no more.
Yeah, it was straight up melted. So we knew that this got real hot and it fatigued the metal, so none of this is good. The engine, I actually took off the valve cover. I pried it off because the valve cover is made of this stuff. I don't know what this is. It's probably plastic impregnated with some fiberglass. And it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look good. This would need a full rebuild, every nut and bolt taken off and every seal and gasket replaced. And I don't know if that is necessarily worth it, but I definitely want to take this out at some point and then go over it, and maybe the trans is good, maybe the clutch is good. I don't know. In the interior, this actually fared fairly well. None of this looks good, but underneath, I think all the wiring is mostly intact. I think everything underneath here is okay, because that still works, sorta. Can you shift it?
Yeah,
you're good at that.
We shift. Hold on. I got 13 more gears to go.
Okay. Well, this has launch control.
Oh,
come on, let's put in launch control. You channeled your inner Weston Champlin for that one. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most rebuildable and 1 being junk it right now, what would you give this car?
A 5.
A 5?
Yeah, you could take half of this car and you...
No, don't do that. No, like the whole car.
Oh, 0.
0?
Yeah, it's not rebuildable. This is not... If it's rebuildable, it's not worth it, because you're going to end up cutting... I mean, like you said, this is probably compromised. You're going to cut the top off, replace the top. The back half definitely has to be replaced on that side. This side looks okay, so by the time you're done, you are cutting and welding in maybe half the car.
Okay. So I have to get rid of this car. I can't rebuild.
I wouldn't rebuild this. This can't be built. This can't be done.
What if I told you that we are going to be rebuilding this? I do have an idea that's going to make it a lot easier.
I'm open for ideas.
I think you're going to like it. Ooh. Oh, there we go.